What's up, guys? Welcome back to the KLX build series, episode 3. Today we're taking a look at the Trail Tech Vapor dash system. Really excited to try this out. It is a little computer unit for your bike. It's going to show you, like I said in the past, but it's going to show you the speed, your tach, outside temp, your bike's temp, your mileage. It's pretty much everything you're ever going to need out on the trail, minus a GPS and stuff, but you could always go to Voyager or Voyager Pro for that. So I'm really excited to install this. It's going to be really interesting to see the RPMs while we're on this bike. It's going to be really interesting to see the engine temp and so on and so forth. It's going to be very interesting. Oh, and it also has an hour meter too. I forgot about that. And I really like the hour meter. So, which we wanted to install anyway. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone. So the way I look at it is once we do a fresh oil change on this bike and just do a fresh tune-up on this bike, take care of the air filter, everything else, let the hour meter start off like 0. I can't imagine we have any more than like maybe 15, 20 hours on this bike right now. So we're really not off too much. So it's going to be a good thing to have starting the season. It might be a little overkill for a 140, to be honest with you, but you know what? It's really badass. So, and I've always wanted to try one of these things out, so it's just a reason to get one. So let's open it up and let's see how it is. So right off the bat, you can see the system right there. It's not too big. Obviously from the box, it wasn't that big, but there it is right there. It's actually counting the time right now. I don't even know if that's accurate. No, it's definitely not accurate. But I'm gonna pull this off. Sorry guys, I know it's upside down for you now, but okay. So here it is right here. I'm just gonna pull this out. So that is actually the temp sensor that came along with it, but we'll get to that. So here's the little system, guys. It's really cool. You got 3 little buttons here. You have a down arrow, a mode arrow, and an up arrow all together. They'll show you different screens, different adjustments, so on and so forth. On the back, you have your mount, which we'll get into. You have a battery. You have your ambient sensor for your outside air. And you have all these different plugs here, which will be for the various sensors. Each one, if you guys can tell, are totally different from one another, so there's no way you could possibly mess this up. Each sensor is going to plug into its own individual thing. You can't plug one into another thing and fry the computer, which is great. I love that they did that. Each one's proprietary. So that's that. We'll also get there's our speed sensor. So this will actually go down to your fork, tape to your fork, and then this will plug in, and then there will be a magnet somewhere in here. And I think they're in here. Yeah, oh, well, they even give you a little keychain. Okay, I didn't know they give you this, but this is pretty cool.
It's better than a sticker.
Better than a sticker. But sure,
I hope we still get a sticker.
I hope we still get a sticker. If we don't, Trail Tech, what are you doing? But yeah, no, you have various bolts right here. This will be for mounting that up. Zip ties, always a bonus, guys. And you do have the magnets in here, and we'll show you how we're gonna mount that on the bike coming up. So here you go. You do have, this is going to be for, I believe, which one is this? Okay, this is your RPM sensor right here. So that's good. I know that's the RPM. And what is this one for? Oh, this is your main power. So this is if you want to directly power this to your battery, which I recommend, and they also recommend. So pretty much, this does run off a battery. So if you don't have a battery on your bike, no worries, you're good to go. If you have something like a YZ or something that doesn't have a battery, I know because my buddy has a YZ, so he doesn't have a battery. It's the only reason why I know that. But then it'll run off that. But if you have a battery, like we do, you take this, you run it straight to the battery, it'll forever power this. There is no like on off or anything switch like that, but what it does is it automatically shuts off after 20 minutes. Very low drain. As you guys can see, this wire is very thin. It really doesn't suck up any juice. All it does is apply a little bit more power to it. And as soon as you start rolling or it senses the bike's on, it'll kick the unit right on, give you a really bright back screen. And I think if you power it from the battery, you get a shift light too, which we're probably not going to use that feature, but I think that's what it is. But I could be wrong on that. I'll have to read the directions to figure that one out. And then you also get your mounts. So like I said, guys, they give you the 7/8 mount and the fat bar mount. So they got you covered for whichever mount you want to put on. I think I see a sticker. I do. Yes, totally worth the money, guys. You get a sticker. So, and then you get various instructions. So, awesome little unit. Oh, and I didn't go over this, by the way, but yeah, this is your temperature sensor. So, spark plug through here, or you could mount this somewhere on the motor. But what I'm going to do is put the spark plug through here, use this as the new spark plug crush washer, and then run this up to the unit where it plugs in. It should be long enough. It's not a big bike. I'm looking at it now, and it's going to be very close, but I think it's going to be close enough. So, actually, I'm not too sure about that. I might have to extend this wire out. I might have to. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to extend it out on my own, but just 2 wires, so might have to do that too. So, but other than that, guys, I'm going to mount the back to this, get it set up on the bars, and then I'm gonna just start wiring in all the different sensors and stuff. It really shouldn't take long. From everything else I've seen on the internet, this is a really short process, so let's get to it. All right, guys, I've been messing with it, and I got it mounted up. So it's pretty simple. They supply you with this back bracket like I showed before, and it's just got 2 little screws that go in on the back side. Really easy, you can't mess it up. It only like fits in one way. And then you have another little nut that you stick in there with the longer Allen key, goes in the side. Now this has teeth, so you can kind of rotate it and it locks into place. So this might be the correct orientation, I'm not sure. It kind of looks like it will be on the bike. But now we just have to snap this over the bars and kind of position this centered to the bike. So let's go over there and let's do it now. So I should be able to figure out, well, it actually looks like I'm gonna have to put it on this side. So if I pop this over, ooh, I don't wanna, oh no, it should. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it clicks in good. So guys, that's pretty on there to begin with, but yeah, definitely the bolt is definitely necessary. But that's pretty centered to begin with, so that's your little display that you get. Actually, that looks pretty good. Even though these are not the bars we're gonna keep, we are swapping these bars out once again, but they're coming at a later date, like I said. But for right now, I could definitely mock this up. I could try to get most of the plugs in. I also went ahead, guys, and in the back here, you can see I have a bunch of wiring going on right now. This is from the Tusk Enduro kit. But I did go ahead and I wired in with little, you know, cheap little ring connectors. I did wire in their power kit, and I kind of zip tied it all the way up. So this is the kit right here. So in theory, if I plug this into the correct connector, I got to find which one it is. This should get a lot brighter. So I just have to figure out which one it is. I think, looks like it would just be this one. No, maybe not. Hold on. This one. Oh yeah, there we go. So there we go, guys. It is a fully lit up display now, and everything else is showing as well. It's going to be kind of hard to see that, but here, I'll steal the camera from you for once. Okay. So if you guys can see, actually it is focusing on that. You can see we have, it says air temp right now is 68 degrees, which it is actually very accurate. So in our garage, it is nice and toasty. We are lucky. But so you have your air temp right there. Speed would come up here. You have your tachometer, I'll come up there. Tachometer will also show down there, I believe, in the other screen, but I'll have to see that. And the clock, but I have to set the clock. And we'll eventually get into the setup to this as well. And yeah, but so far that's pretty bright. I like it a lot. Yeah, and nice. Apparently after 20 minutes, this will just shut off on its own. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys, so the next sensor I'm gonna attempt to wire up. I think the wire is gonna be just long enough. Is going to be our temp sensor. So the way I'm going to install it, which is the way they recommend to install it, is to pull the spark plug out, and then underneath where your normal crush washer would be for the spark plug, this will take its place. So it should be pretty simple. We'll just try to pull this spark plug. I've actually never pulled the spark plug from this bike yet, so this will also be an interesting time to see what it looks like. Okay, guys, so I got the original crush washer off, so this just slots right over that. And then we'll just stick it in. Just snug. Okay, that's definitely on there. Now I have to pop this on. Okay, and now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna follow this normal wire, your coil wire up, and we're gonna see how close we get. I could obviously zip tie this further down the road, but I'm gonna see, since nothing's permanent yet. Oh yeah, I definitely have enough wire to make it, like just enough, but I do have enough, so no worries. And I believe it should be this one. Yep. If it fits, it's correct because each one of these is to themselves. So yeah, there's that. All right, guys, the next sensor that we would want to install, you could either do the speed now or you could do your RPM. To show you what I've done for the RPM, I have not zip tied it yet, but what you would do is you would wrap it around 5 times around your coil wire. That is what they recommend as the most accurate way. So you could do it down here as well by the boot, or you could do it up top here. I'm just gonna do it up top here just to hide it a little bit better. I haven't zip tied it yet, like I said, and I have a lot of extra because I'm actually going to just use this to test it out to make sure the unit is working correctly, and then I'm gonna trim it, and then I'm gonna wire it back up to the bike. So that's that sensor. Now I'm gonna move on and do the speed sensor as well. So the speed sensor is right here. How this works is this goes down right by your rotor in your front fork, and it gets very close and to your rotor, and you just 3M tape it straight in. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna electrical tape it for now just to make sure I get a reading. And then right here, along with the other zip ties, which I'm gonna use one for over there, they do give you various bolts and stuff. I'm not exactly sure what some of these are for. Okay, so here you go. Here's a magnetic bolt. This is for a certain size rotor. So how this works is this actually takes the place of one of your normal rotor bolts for your brake rotor. And then as your rotor goes around, it would pass by that magnet. So they give you that size. It looks like they give you this one. That's cool. I didn't know they gave you that many different types. They also give you a little clip there. I don't know what the little clip would be for. They give you a little magnet in case you have to swap. Oh, look, you can see it's magnetic. And he actually give you that size bolt as well. And then they, oh, that's what the little clip is for. So what you could actually do is if you don't have a spot, you could actually drill a hole in your rotor, and then you could just implant this in, and this little ring right here would actually clip on the backside to keep it in the rotor. I'm not going to go this route. I'm sure it works fantastic. I'm sure one of these would swap out with one of our rotor bolts. So what I'm going to do is actually pull one of our rotor bolts out right now, and then try to stick one of these in and see which one it is. So I'm going to pull one of these out. This should be the right size. Yeah. I'm going to pull one of these out, and I think this thick, chunky one will be the correct size. Not sure. Wow. Oh, boy. Yeah, I figured these would be really on there.
Well, they should be.
Yeah, they should be. Exactly. Woo! Yeah, they're on there. But that's good. So we'll pull one of these out and check. I'm not sure if the threads are the same here. Really not. Damn, I don't think it is. Is it? I don't know. It could just be gooked up. Oh, yeah. Definitely the right size, so that's absolutely awesome. So I'm just going to push it all the way through to clear the threads, and then I'll go get some thread locker to put in there, and it'll work great. So I have the wire here, guys. So this is a really, really stiff wire. So if something was to rub on it really quick, I think you would be okay. Not permanently, but it's a very strong wire for sure. Down here, not so much, but what I like is that you can quick connect this. So if you find that this is for some reason needs to be moved, it'll be a way easier thing than having to replace the whole wire or rewire the whole thing. But I have this just through my normal brake loop right here where the brake cable runs. Down here, I'll have to just zip tie along here a couple pieces. I'm going to keep this on the outside, I think. Something along that line. And then, see, but it's still too long, so I have to bring it up somewhere probably about there. So what they tell you is that this needs to be mounted. It needs to be about, I think it's 1/4 to 1/2. I'll reread it before I temporarily mount this, before I do the sticky. And then it has to not pass through the dead center. You'll get an inaccurate reading through the dead center of this thing. You actually want to be passing through pretty much just barely the bottom of this. So I know that this ring right here is the middle. So I think somewhere right around there would be best. And actually that would, right where I have it right now would probably work perfect, to be completely honest with you. and it should give me an accurate reading. So we took it off the motorcycle stand because I have to be able to freely move this front wheel. So we just got it up on the quick little motocross stand right now. So I just taped it on there. So like it says to have the magnet pass just under, like at the bottom of this sensor, it wants to be in the middle of the magnet. I don't know if that makes sense or not, and you also want to be within a ½ inch from the magnet to the sensor. So if we go up top right now, I plugged it in and the dash is lit up. If I spin this tire, she should see some type of speed register. So let's just see if it works. And it did. So apparently I could throw the wheel about 7 miles an hour. So that's funny. But yeah, so it does work. And is that it? That's all the sensors, right?
Yeah, we got speed.
Oh.
RPM.
Well, we got to see if everything works though. That's all. We just got to see if everything works now.
Well, we just tested the speed, kind of.
Yeah, well, the speed works. We know that. But let's sit down and let's read the directions and see if we can program this thing.
Oh,
because we have to calibrate it.
And we have to set the timer and stuff. Yeah,
set the time, everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, let's see if we could do that. All right, guys. So like we said, all the sensors are working. Actually, I didn't start the bike to make sure, but let's start the bike to make sure, I guess. Is the choke up? Now I don't have the tank on, so it's not really going to idle for too long, and it's going to be loud because we have that pro circuit on, but just bear with me. RPM's working. So that's working. The temp should be working. Yeah, it's saying 89 degrees right now. 88 degrees, so it is changing. So that's good. That's the engine temp. So that is also working. So that's really good. So now we actually have to program this thing. So to program it, we have to hold down all 3 buttons here. So there we go. So the first thing it's going to ask you is your units. We're going to select miles an hour because we are in the US. It might be a little hard to see the screen too, so sorry guys. But I'm going to click the next one. This is your tire size. Now to get your tire size, what you want to actually do, guys, is you want to measure. You could use inches. You need it in millimeters, but what you're going to do is you're going to measure the distance of your tire from not just the rim, which is a standard 21 on this bike, but from the top of your tire tread to the bottom. You're going to want to measure that in inches. I believe ours was 27. And then what you do is you times that by pi, which is 3.14, and they do break this down for you in the manual. What that number is what you're going to enter here. Ours was 2160. So it timed out on me, but that's okay. So I'm going to go back in, miles an hour. 2 is fine. So you're going to want to click, I believe, the up to go to the next unit. Yep. So 21 is fine. Next one, and then you're going to want to use the down arrow to change the units. 6 is fine, and then I just need 0. So there you go. That's my tire size. I want 12-hour clock, but you can also select a 24-hour clock. Now, what's the time? Looks like it's, what is it? 11:19?
Yes.
That's PM. I don't know if it actually... Oh, no, it doesn't change it, really.
It wouldn't matter, yeah.
So, 11... What did I say? 19?
Yeah, it's almost 20.
So, that'll work.
Actually, no, yeah, that's right.
Pulses per rev. I'm just going to leave this at 1. This pulse as well. I'm just going to leave this at 0. Units. I want Fahrenheit for my temp. Now this is where you're going to set your high temp for the bike. I'm assuming around 240 would probably be enough. That's what I'm thinking. I don't really truly know what a high temp for this bike would be. Danger, I'm going to just shoot for like, I'm going to do like 280, I guess. That sounds good enough. I'll know when we start to ride the bike, pretty much. And then this is for your shift lights. I'm not really going to use this, but for now, I guess I'll set this to like a high number. I don't know what this bike revs to, but I'll say like 8,000, I guess.
That's probably still pretty high.
That's probably still pretty high for this bike, to be honest. And shift 2, which would be your danger light. So it'll be a yellow light, then a red light for you guys to know for when you hit low and then high. I'm still just going to say, well, I guess I'll say 9,000. I'm not really too sure. And that's it. We are calibrated. So it's actually saying it's 1121, which it is. And yeah, that's it, guys. We are ready to rock. Now, if I had installed this permanently on the bars and everything else, that's it. We're done. But I didn't really strap down or even trim any of these wires because I still have a lot to play with as far as when the new bars come in. So I didn't even temporarily mount the speed sensor. So I'm going to do all that off camera and then once the bars are in. So you guys aren't going to see that, but I will definitely, or maybe even Pauline will, definitely have a video discussing how she likes this or how I like it or how it's performing. Pretty much in the real world. So you guys are definitely going to see more of this. And who knows, maybe I'll even go grab one and maybe with the GPS for my bike. I don't really know yet. We're going to have to see how it plays out. But I'm really interested in getting some type of GPS thing for my bike. But I'm not too sure yet. So, but that's pretty much it, guys. That's going to be it for this video, I think. That's the Trail Tech install. I think I covered everything decent enough. It's not like an absolute perfect video. I know that. I kind of like did it kind of quick, but it is a quick install. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it'll, you know, take any worries right off your back if you're thinking about buying this thing and you don't know how to install it. So just tell them what kind of bike you have and they'll send you the right things. As far as temp sensors are concerned, that's not the only way to have a temp sensor. They also offer, if you're a liquid cooled person, where you would actually cut your silicone line for your like radiator, and it's a T connector and just goes right in. So it'll just measure the fluid temp. So that's that. And so that's pretty cool. They offer a lot of different scenarios for different bikes. So I'm liking it so far. Like I said, guys, we'll give you a real world review coming up. But that's going to cut it for now. And guys, we'll catch you on the next one. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. This is pretty much how it's going to look up here, minus the new bars that we're going to have coming soon, and new handguards and everything else. So the spacing is going to be a little different. I'm thinking on the next video, you guys are probably going to start to see like headlights working, taillights working, and all that other stuff. When the handlebars get here, guys, that's what's going to complete the bike. We're going to be able to throw those handguards on and then start to space out all the controls for the Tusk Enduro kit. It's going to be really good. And I'm happy with it so far. I'll be happier once I start to see some completion, because I have a lot of couple projects right now that aren't completed. But like I said, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. And like always, if you like it, smash the like button. It's not that hard. It's free to do. And also, subscribe. Why not? So you can get notified when my next video goes up, really. So, thanks so much, guys. And we will see you in the next one. Take it easy.